Hey guys, so this is my first YouTube channel. My name is Kelly. Just a little background on me. I am 22. I graduate college in 15 days. Sorry if it's like I'm looking to the side. I'm filming on my iPad and the camera's like here, but the screen, I'm like looking at myself. So if I look kind of like ratchet because I'm like looking to the side, that's why. So I graduate college in 15 days. I will be getting my bachelor's of business administration in marketing, and then also my bachelor's of business administration in supply chain and operations management. So since college is coming to an end, I decided I would do a little story time today of horrible roommates. So some of them might be watching this, so this is kind of awkward, but okay, so I graduated high school in 2013, in June. So then I went to Madison, UW-Madison, for a semester, fall of 2013. And there I had a roommate who was from China. And at first I was like, when I first saw who I was going to be rooming with, I was a little nervous because I didn't know anything about like Chinese people or the culture or anything. Didn't know if she would speak English. So I was a little nervous. But then moving in, it was like a really good experience. She turned out to be like one of my best friends. She even came home with me for winter break, spent Christmas with my family. It was a really nice time. So then, sadly, I had a lot of mental health issues, so I had to transfer out of Madison after that one semester, and then I went to UW-Oshkosh for like the little interim period, so like winter, like a 3-week class before spring semester. So then I had a roommate who, she was really obnoxious. Like, we never got along. It could be that I moved in kind of in the beginning of January, and she didn't know that I was moving in. Like, she didn't know she was getting a new roommate, and I hadn't contacted her, so that could be like a reason. Like, she was kind of confused. I never really told her that anything was happening. So we kind of knocked on the door, and we just kind of awkwardly moved in, and she didn't know, so it was like kind of weird, but it was fine. So then she would always, so her bed was bunked, and mine was on the floor. So it was like, on one side of the room was my bed on the floor, and hers was like bunked. And she had like a futon and a TV underneath her bunk, so it was like level with me. So she would always watch TV. She would never leave the room. I would never get any alone time. She would constantly be there, watching TV. She would go to bed super early. I mean, that's not a problem, but she was just super rude about everything. And so then I still had these mental health issues, so I had to drop out. Spring of 14, I was a college dropout. Stay in school, guys. So I was living at home with my parents, and they didn't trust me because I had a lot of mental health issues, so they gave me a curfew of 10 p.m. Now, I was 18 at the time, and obviously that's not a great curfew to have when you're 18. And obviously living with your parents is not ideal. So I decided one day that I was going to apply to the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, which is around like 30 minutes away from my house. So like not too far away, but like still far away enough. And I got in. And now at first, when I applied there, I was going to go for journalism, advertising, and media studies. But when I got there, I did change my major a bunch of times. So I was a JAMS major, as they call it. Then I wanted to be a criminal justice major. I wanted to be in psychology. I wanted to be a doctor, pre-med. Then I wanted to be pre-law. So then, in one of my advertising classes, a student came in and was talking about American Marketing Association, so I was like, oh, like, might as well go to a meeting, like, what do I have to lose? So I went there, and I saw all of these other students my age that were doing amazing things in the business school with marketing. So I decided, actually a few weeks later, to switch to marketing. So then usually people in the business school at UWM they usually double major, so supply chain goes really well with marketing for some reason. And a bunch of the classes like overlap. So I decided to just double major. Like, why not? 2 degrees for the price of 1. So I declared both majors. I was still considered a freshman, but it was like my second semester because I had already done a semester at Madison. So I was a transfer. So I got to live in the upperclassmen dorms that had like, they were all suite style. So you live in a room in a suite with 4 rooms, and there's 2 doubles and 2 singles, and then a full kitchen, full bathroom. It's really nice. So I lived in a suite with 5 other girls, and I had one of the doubles, so my roommate was from Germany. Now that wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't really mind her. She was quiet, kept to herself, like always gone. She joined a bunch of clubs, which kind of made me feel bad about myself at the time, but like, it's fine. But her voice, like, it wasn't even just that she was German, like, it was just her voice was super annoying to me, and I don't know why, but every time she would, like, be on Skype or talking to somebody, I would just get really irritated for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so then my one suite mate, let's call her Melanie. That's not actually her name. It's not even close to her name. But there was one time that I was in my room because I decided to rush a sorority at that semester. So I decided to rush a sorority. So I was in my room and I was painting a paddle for my big because that's like a ritual that we used to do. We would give a paddle to our big that we would paint and personalize and everything. So I was painting it, and I had just got out of the shower, and I had just gone to the bathroom. This is my room, and I needed to wash my brushes. So I opened my door, and I walk down the hallway to the bathroom to wash my brush. Then I walk back, and I see a note stuck to my door, and it says, like, "Thanks, Kelly. I love having to clean up somebody else's, like, ass sweat on the toilet seat. Thanks a lot. I'm not your housekeeper," or something like really snotty. Because I had just gone and taken a shower, and then right after I went to the bathroom, so it might have been wet because of the clean water. So I was sitting in my room painting this paddle and crying about this note because my suite mate was horrible. She had also really, like, done drugs in her room all the time. The cops came to my dorm room one time to talk to me about her. She had sex in her dorm room all the time, and she was, like, really freaky, and, like, you could hear, like, whips, and it was just a mess. Like, I hated her. Which actually, my first semester there, I had 5 other suite mates, and then my second semester, I only had 2, because the other 3 had moved out because of this girl. So yeah, that was how bad she was. So then my second year, I roomed with one of my sorority sisters, her freshman year roommate, because we were both sophomores at the time. So her freshman year roommate just happened to be one of my suite mates. So they were super nice, and I had a single, so I was fine with that. However, like, throughout the year, they got, like, progressively annoying and progressively would stay up later, and just be screaming in the kitchen and for no reason. So that was kind of a problem, but, like, I dealt with it. I didn't really say anything because I'm not, like, really confrontational. I don't like conflict. So that was kind of annoying. And then my third year, which was last year, I roomed with 2 of my sorority sisters in a suite in the dorms. I lived in the dorms for like 3.5 years, so in the dorms. So I had a single, my other sorority sister had a single, and then my other sorority sister, she had a double, but nobody else moved in, so she had a single the whole year, which was really nice. And then 2 other girls that were in the other double that we didn't know. So that was fun. But towards the middle of the year, like, people always say don't live with your best friends, and that's so true. Towards the middle of the year, we used to get in fights all the time. I never knew, like, when I'd open the door how, like, what they'd be like, if they'd be mad at me, I don't know. So then we didn't talk for a little bit, for like a week or 2, which was kind of awkward because we lived together, but, so we didn't talk. But then me and my sorority sister, let's call her Ariana. me and my sorority sister Ariana kind of became best friends because there was 3 of us, so one always gets left out. So me and Ariana became best friends, and then let's call her Emily. She kind of got left out, but she was with her boyfriend all the time, and she would have sex all the time, super loud. So me and Ariana would always hang out and do stuff together, which was really fun. I kind of miss living with her. Yeah, and then the other 2 girls, they were fine. Like, there was really no problems. We did have, however, one of the other 2 girls was from China, or South Korea, I think. And she drank some really, really strong, like, alcohol, and she was a tiny girl. And so one time I came home drunk from the bars, and my friend Ariana, she was in her room sleeping, and she had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and it was like maybe 1 a.m. And I was in my room because I was like, I just got back and I was like trying to change, get ready for bed. So she comes, knocks on my door, and she's like, hey, like, do you know who's in the bathroom? And I was like, I have no idea. She's like, well, I think it's like our roommate, but she's been in there for like over a half hour. So we're like, oh, that's weird. So we go and knock on the door, the bathroom door. No one answers. It's locked, so you can't get in. And there's no like keyhole to get in when it's locked, which is kind of a design flaw. But so we go down to the front desk and get security. They come up. They call the cops. It was the UWM police. They came, and the fire department came, and the ambulance came. So they were all like trying to knock the door down or try to get in the door. So they finally get the door open, and she's laying on the ground of the bathroom by the toilet, semi-conscious. She was super drunk, like, so they are asking her a ton of questions about what happened that night. She was underage, so you can see why. But then her roommate came home, and she was high. So it was like me being drunk, her being high, trying to act natural in front of all these cops and ambulance people. It was just a mess. But then they finally took her away in a stretcher to the hospital just to monitor her. And then she came back at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. This year, because this is spring semester, so last fall I lived in the dorms, and then I decided to move home for my final semester, and just commute, because I only had school 2 days a week, and I work the other 3 days at a place close to my house. So I decided it wasn't really worth it to pay for a parking pass at the dorms, because that's like $550 a semester. So I decided to just move home, and then I take the park and ride to school, so the city bus, which is free for students because you get a bus pass with your tuition, so it's really nice. But yeah, so last semester I lived with 5 other girls. 4 of them were best friends, and then it was just me and this other girl in the 2 singles that were just kind of outcasts. But yeah, so I didn't really have any problems with them. It was just, again, like the loudness and the always doing stuff with each other and like not really including us. And I don't really have a ton of friends to begin with, so I was kind of like jealous, but yeah. So anyways, I graduate in 15 days. Today is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. My cousin in Utah is actually graduating today from college, from Utah State. So I graduate on May 20th. It's going to be a good time. And I still have 4 exams and 2 papers to write, and I haven't started on the papers. So we'll see how this goes. But I hope you enjoyed this story time. I know it wasn't like too crazy, but I'm going to be posting every Saturday. So if you guys like this story time and want more, let me know. I know this is the first video on my channel. So I'm going to be doing a lot of like hauls and taste testing foods. Basically all like the not original stuff that I find on YouTube that I like to watch. But if you like this story time and you want to hear more about my college career, leave a comment down below and tell me what you liked and disliked. Also hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys!